Barkevisser, the modern day mystic, as she helps you find your personal intuitive uniqueness and universal alignment for a more meaningful life. You're listening to The Modern Day Mystic with your host, Cynthia Barkevisser.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and happy Monday to you. This is Cynthia Barkevisser, your Modern Day Mystic. And today we're going to finish up our spring cleaning series, talking about being in alignment with your environment. While I'm talking about this, I would love to have you call in, and I'm happy to do a reading for you. All you have to do is call 657-383-0608 and press 1 if you'd like to talk with me, or just hang out in the chat room and ask your question there, and I will pick up your chat room question as soon as possible. I'm so happy to be back. It was a great weekend and a great week just to be present and take my life and everything going on around it with spring changing and getting to the last phase of my mother's, coming on the last phase of the 1 year of my mom's passing, just cleaning up those things too. And, when I'm cleaning up, it's just pretty much acknowledging the feelings that I'm going through. But enough about me. Let's talk about modern day mystic alignment and environment. So when I think of modern day mystic, I think about back in the olden days when there was so much space and that we could commune with nature and be present with nature and find yourself in alignment, and that everything had its own vibration, but that the way that nature is that it had to be in tune with, it has to be in tune, and then we walk in and we become in tune with nature. Now here in modern day, there's so many things going on, and we have these wonderful places that we live in which we get to create our own environment. And that's the good news. The good news is that we get to create whatever we'd like within this space that we call home. And then we get to recreate in this place that we call work. And then we get to recreate again in this place called transportation. And we get to recreate it again and again and again. The other side of it, though, is that the more that we create, the less that we get to take the outside forces and keep us in check. So it's easy for our environment sometimes to become a little bit of a vacuum. Now, how does that work as a modern day mystic? Well, if you think about it, we're all about staying in tune and being our most authentic self. And if we're not checking in with our environments can hold old memories or stagnant energy or just energy that's no longer ours. And then as we're in the middle of changing, then we are then not in energetic alignment with our places. So, and I'm not changing. It could be something as simple as, my car. I found out that I opened up the trunk. I hadn't opened up the trunk in a while, and I realized I never made it to the donation store. So I had a whole bunch of things that needed to go to the donation store, and I was thinking, man, how many times have I been driving around? And when I'm driving, I like to have creative ideas. That my creative ideas were because I had all these memories sitting with me. That's one of those things. So what I'd like to do is, because we're in April, and I know this sounds crazy, but I like to think about taxes because there is the practical side of me, and that we're coming up on the end of tax season where we actually take an account of our past year. It's a perfect time to finish up our cleaning and take it all the way up to April 15th or even till the end of April. And then May, while we're right in the smack dab middle of spring, or we can just shoot forward and really, really work with the energy of the seasons as well as the environment. Now, we had something really crazy cool happen in the classes that I hold on Thursdays. It had to do with, I won't call it, it's a type of energy clearing that works well with feng shui, but it is not feng shui. I have the deepest respect for feng shui practitioners. They do a lot of studying. There is a lot of ritual that goes with, and they have so much knowledge. And what the intuitive cleansing or the intuitive clearing does is we get to talk about just a particular space. In this class, we just talked about one space. We didn't want to, go about our whole house. And we talked about, hey, this is what we'd like to change in our life. And this is the area of my house that I would be most excited in if once I make this change. So an example is I love thinking about my business. I love thinking about where this can take me, all about the possibilities. And so I would be most excited about that in this office. And I'm actually doing this radio show from this office, which is super exciting, and it creates this energy. But I also know that this office is not a perfect environment, again, because it is completely created by me from the paint in, and then there's some history from before. So what I'd like to say is what was interesting is that we got to focus in on what's really going on with ourselves, what's the agreement that we're about to make with ourselves, what's the commitment that we're going to make to our space, and then what we did is that we took an intuitive picture, of our space. What we did is I had everybody draw an overview map of the room that they're looking at, and feel the inconsistency between that person and in the room. So in a strange way, it was a relationship reading and a way to understand relationships, but it's your energy and your energy. I may be going way far out, and I apologize if I am, but it's super exciting. And so what happened was, what we realized is that even in our most sacred spaces, our bedrooms, my office, the bathroom, is that there are inconsistencies, and you want to be really clear where we are in our spaces. So I'll catch a little bit more about that later. I'm going to take a call from Sherry, but before I do that, I'd love to give the phone number for anyone else who would like to bring in a call. So just dial in to 657-383-0608 and press 1 if you'd like to talk with me. Otherwise, hang out in the chat room, and I'd love to take your questions there. So Sherry, how are you doing?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it. I was going to ask about relationships.
You know what? I love relationships, and just so you know, I'll be honest with you. I'll take relationships in any way, shape, order I can. So I'm so glad that you called. How can I help you? What's going on?
I'm looking for one pretty quickly. I've been single for a while and working on a bunch of other things, and I'm just to the point where I am ready. Okay. So I see online that you're going to have a birthday in a couple of weeks. Yes? Yeah.
So you have an April birthday? And
yes.
Are you okay with telling me how old you will be?
43.
43, you're just a baby. All right, so I just got into your energy. I love the space that you're in. You've been working really hard. You have a little bit of anxiety about the way that you've been presenting yourselves, the way that you've been presenting yourself in the past few months. But you've been working very diligently on yourself for the past, I'd say, year and a half. Does that make sense?
Oh, probably a little longer. But
okay, yeah.
In earnest, the last year and a half, probably.
I'm sorry? In earnest, you said?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. There is a piece of you that does get a little bit analytical when you start thinking about relationships. So what I'd like you to do is, you've been working so hard, now's the time to play. And it's kind of like, when you're baking bread and now you got to let it rise and there's nothing that you can do but just wait for it to rise because the chemical reaction needs to happen, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what you want to do is that you want to go and play because you've put in all the hard work, and now it just needs to rest for just a little bit. And it's a time for you to remember that play is an integral part of relationship. And you're so earnest and diligent that the message that you're putting out is, hey, I'm a really good catch, and I work really hard. And those are great. Those are great qualities to have, but in a relationship, you want someone who plays well as well. Yeah? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Okay, so what have you been doing to play?
Painting and trying to do some writing, but
Hmm.
I'm not stressing that too much.
Okay, so
Uh,
those are really beautiful things, and that's great exploration. Um, can I make a suggestion?
sure.
Are you finger painting?
Well, that's weird you say that. I do my pastels, but I love to do them with my fingers. And I know
Uh-huh.
people use tools, but I do mine completely with my fingers.
Okay, yeah. No, it's because here's what I'm hearing. It's the little bit more interaction in the play, and the interaction also needs to be outside. So it would be great if you, because you like pastels, have you thought about doing chalk art just to interact with people who watch you, people who are also doing chalk art, that kind of thing. So it's about getting down and playing, but playing well with others, because that's what a relationship is all about.
Cool.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's number one. So that part of play. The other thing too is just know that the time for play, it really is about play. So when people are playing in earnest, they don't look at the clock. Okay, and so the trick for you for right now is to play in earnest and not look at the clock, and trust that the relationship's going to come when you have fulfilled the play requirement, because you got it down pat on the other all the other stuff. You pretty much cleaned up your business, and you're ready to go ahead and create more business so that you can learn more lessons. Yeah, and have a good time as well.
Sounds good. Yep.
Okay, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, but I do recommend that the next time that you play, that you do have interaction, because everything that you're doing is pretty internal, and when you're with others, someone's serious, but they're jokey. That's what my partner likes to say. So jokey, jokey, right? So it's really about being a trickster, a prankster, all in fun, and really getting into the heart, so that balances out all the hard work you've done. All right?
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, and I'm happy to help you in a one-on-one, or, talk. Okay, so thank you so much. Those of you who call in, 657-383-608, and press that tiny little number called the number one. It is not the loneliest number that you'll ever do. It is an amazing number. Okay, so what I'd like to do is talk a little bit. Let's follow up on what the last caller was talking about, which is that you work really hard and you've been really diligent, and now let's talk about. So I just came from a meeting, and if you don't know, I also do real estate, and real estate is amazing to me because it is one of the major things that you're going to do in your life. And in no way it's not going to change your life. And my big thing is I love getting to know people, and again, it's a relationship, matching up a person with a place, and allowing that to happen on its own, and let the see the magic happen, right, and feel the magic. So as we were talking in my meeting, the 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 theme was actually about celebration, and the caller that I had was talking about that she's been working really hard, and she was. I could feel the diligence. I could feel the earnestness. I could feel that she was digging in as deep as she could for this time, and that she was really making place and wanting to plant seeds. And now all we're looking for is we're looking for the germination to happen. And what we talked about is celebration. So celebrate. Everything that you do is celebrate, right? So if you do something, celebrate. Let the celebration be earnest and joyful and brief. I tend to be an over celebrator. I love celebrating. I love the party, but then I always, when it comes to the time where I'm one of the last people to leave the party, I remember. That's metaphorical, you guys. What I remember is one of my favorite quotes, which is, "Those who rest on their laurels are wearing them on the wrong end." I love that quote, and that means get up and go out, do more, and then you get to celebrate some more. And then you get out, do some more, and you celebrate some more. So let's take that back to where we are and talking about spring cleaning. What I'd like to do is challenge you and think about a favorite part of your house and think about how you want to celebrate in that part of the house. So a lot of people in my class, believe it or not, it was not about their bedroom. They actually wanted to celebrate their spirituality. So some people had an altar space or an altar room. I use my office as a spiritual room, and other people wanted this calm and things like that. So what was really interesting was taking a look and feeling that person's energy and seeing their earnestness, and then talking with them for a moment, and then feeling their earnestness again after they make their commitment of what it is they're excited to change, and then making an agreement with that place that they wanted to celebrate, which would be, for, like I said, for me in my office, for people in their areas, and feel the inconsistencies. Now, you can do this on your own, and if you feel like you can do it on your own, it's really easy to have someone near and dear to you to also your space. I just realized that I'm cutting out a bit, and I'm really sorry. And I will adjust and see if we can get this going a little bit better. All right? So hopefully this is a little bit better. I have the mic a little bit closer to my mouth, and I'm checking out my internet connection, and everything seems to be in order. So hopefully you'll be hearing me a little bit better. Again, you're more than welcome to give me a call, 657-383-0608, and press numero uno if you'd like to ask a question. I'm happy to give you a quick read. So back to the room. Just go into that room and make the commitment to yourself. Now, what I like to do is you tell it to the person that's going to check out the room with you, or write it down so you don't fool yourself. And then once you do that, before you go into your room, really check your body like it's a barometer. Okay, and then you know what? If you're by yourself, write that down again, because that's a way of being accountable. If you don't have someone with you, if you have someone with you, have a conversation. All right, and so you're being accountable to that person, and then walk into your space, whatever you want us to do that celebration. And once you go in there, what I'd like you to do is just sit for one moment and be silent, and making the agreement that you're checking out the energy, and it's not about you and your body. See if it's in alignment. Feel the energy. God, does it feel calm? Does it feel this? Does it feel that? And really check it out. And then again, if you're by yourself, write it down. And if not, check in with the person that's with you and see if they get something similar. I'll keep going, but I see that I have a caller. It's Sharon from Ohio. So Sharon, when you're ready, you want to have a question?
Hello.
Hey, how are ya?
Good. I can hear you clear too.
Fantastic. That's great. Was it rough for a minute?
A little bit, but it's fine now. It's perfect.
Okay, good. Well, let's see. Let's see how you're doing. How can I?
Can you hear me okay?
I can totally hear you. You sound like you're my
neighbor.
There
we go. Oh, you're so. Yep. It cut out, but now it's totally clear. Well, I started a new job. Friday and today was orientation. I left a little early today because I had to get fingerprinted, so that's why I'm home. I'm usually working. How do you? It seems perfect, but you know that's after the first couple of weeks. But this is basically a job that I've always wanted. How do you feel with this? Is it a keeper?
Oh, yeah, it's totally a keeper. I'm actually really excited for you. It's not going to be the end-all, be-all, but you're going to be there for a while. It's going to be a great curve for you. There are a lot of changes that will be happening.
Yep.
And the reason it's not going to be an end-all, be-all is because as you start learning, you're going to take a slight curve, a curve as you should, right, in your path. And then once you do that, you're like, hey, there's a little bit more than I thought. And then you're going to go from there. But it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. It's It's exciting, and don't be surprised that after a little while, you're going to get settled in, and you're going to go, wow, I'm looking for a little bit more. And so ask for a little bit more, ask for a little bit more, and then that's how you're going to make your curve.
Or maybe the curve in the same company, because who would want to leave the benefits, and the salary is really, really good. But do the people there, do you feel like I'm going to be in sync with the people there? That's so important. I had such a bad experience at my old job. But you know what's so funny about this particular job? I had to take a psychology test to make sure my personality fit with the department. And I never did that before. Do you feel that the people are going to accept me and you know what I'm saying? Are we all going to get along in sync?
Well, you know, we're human beings, right? So there's going to be bad days and good days. But I will tell you that was it the Myers-Briggs test?
I don't know. I don't even know. They didn't tell me the name of it, but it was it wasn't, nothing was wrong or right. They just wanted to see how I fit in. Yes, the culture, that's what they say.
Yeah. So what usually happens is I actually love psychology tests. I think they're fascinating. I love that companies are doing that. And what I was about 10, 15 years ago, what I was doing with some companies was actually using handwriting analysis, because handwriting analysis is actually like the most, it's, you don't go into categories, completely go into one-on-one. Yeah, so I just do that for for relationships. And it's just fascinating and a lot of fun, and people get about themselves at the same time. So it's very personable. So what I want you to know is that they took care in picking you. So celebrate that, because remember how I was just talking about celebration? So if you have been going through so many changes that you're a little bit flinchy, you know what I mean?
I'm nervous. I know, because I've had such a bad 2 years. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I know, and I'm still pinching myself. I know. But you do feel everything's in sync, and I'm going to be there a few years, at least you see, for a while.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if it's not with this company. I know that it's everything that you want and need, but there is actually a really big part of you. When I mean big, you have a big personality, and there's a part of that personality that hasn't been tested yet. Let's just say tested. Okay. All right? And so it could be something as simple as you taking on seminars, talks, however that's going to look. Do you see what I'm saying? It has to accommodate your big personality, and that is the next piece that's going to be tested, for lack of better words. And when I say tested, I don't want to use that word, because you've been through the test for the past 2 years. So
I didn't want to go into it.
Right. See, that's why the word doesn't fit you, and yet that's exactly what's going to happen. So
I'm going to touch the waters. How's that? Touch the waters.
Well, now you're diving in head first, my friend, and you're going to come out, shining bright. It's just that your personality is going to go, hey, I want more, and it's almost like you're going to be hungry. So, and
that's so cute, and I'm going to learn my job. Okay, there are going to be some things. Right. Okay.
Yeah, no. You're very human to have these anxieties, but you're absolutely fine.
I know.
You're absolutely fine. All right. Enjoy. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful that you got to get fingerprinted, because that means you and I got to meet. So lucky me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was good news. Thank you. I know it, but I just, it's anxiety. Thank you.
Yeah, no. You are absolutely welcome. And I look forward to talking with you again to hear about your good news, okay? All right. Thanks. So I have another call up, and what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then I will be talking with Pooja from South Carolina. All right? I'll see you guys on the other side.
Are you ready to transform your life? Are you looking for love? Are you looking to advance your career, increase prosperity, or improve your health? Feng Shui can help. Feng Shui is the ancient Chinese art of enhancing your environment by creating a more positive energy flow to help you achieve your goals. Maria McCullough is the founder of Feng Shui by Maria and author of the popular newspaper column Everyday Feng Shui, currently in 3 publications. Trained by the Western School of Feng Shui, Maria has over 15 years of experience transforming the lives of people like you in the San Francisco Bay Area. For more information, to learn about upcoming classes, and to read testimonials, log on to her website at www.fengshuibymaria.com or call 925-586-1430 to schedule your personalized 2-hour introductory home or business consultation. You too can be a satisfied customer saying, "A feng shui visit from Maria helped me get the job I always wanted," or, "After a consultation from Maria, I found the love of my life." Be the change you want in your life. To set up your appointment, call 925-586-1430 today. Discover the beauty within at Julie Michelle Skin and Lashes, located in beautiful downtown Benicia, California. With 13 years of experience, licensed esthetician Julie Michelle brightens your natural beauty with therapeutic clinical skincare treatments and home care products, head-to-toe waxing, including Brazilian, and gorgeous eyelash extensions, all during your enjoyment of her restorative and tranquil environment. New client specials include VitaBright microdermabrasions for only $89, regularly $150, and full set eyelash extensions for only $99, regularly $175. Come join Julie's long list of clients who savor the sense of wellness, lightness, and delight in feeling their best. Visit 847 First Street, facing I Street, conveniently located within distance of delightful boutiques, shops, and restaurants. Learn more and book appointments at www.juliemichelleskinandlashes.com. Experience the magic of Angel Heart for You, nestled in the heart of beautiful downtown Benicia, California. Embrace the aroma of scented candles, essential oils, incense, and aromatherapy products as you wander the aisles of inspirational and metaphysical books and gifts. Enjoy the positive energy vibrating in this historical site where the well-known author Jack London was once a frequent visitor. If you're in need of a smile or a hug, Angel Heart for You is the place to visit. Do you have an intention or a wish to manifest? Experience the magic of our intention tree. Email us at angelheartforyourradiochannel@gmail.com and be included in our sacred intention tree ritual. Just write us your intention and we'll offer it up in fire along with those left in our store. Then offer them again to the beach and water in Benicia. May angels be with you in all your comings and goings. Love, Angel Heart for You.
And we're back. Here we are. I'm Cynthia Varkevisser, your modern day mystic, and we are talking about alignment with ourselves and with our environment. If you'd like to call in, please dial 657-383-0608, and please remember to press 1 if you want to talk with me. Otherwise, feel free to hang out in the chat room, and you can submit your question there, and I will get to that when I can. I have a caller, Pooja from South Carolina, and Pooja, are you there?
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing really well, thank you so much. How can I help you today? What are you up to?
Just working. I work from home, and
Wow.
I took a break, and I heard that you were on, and so it was perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect timing. And wanted to see, I really just would love kind of some messages for the future. I did have a turning point happen almost last night, and probably from the beginning of the new year. And I see a lot of cool things coming up, but I also have like a little bit of confusion, and I think it's stuff that maybe I'm clearing away.
Sure. Let's talk
It
about
feels like,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry.
it just feels like there's a lot of stuff happening. I know my body's being cleansed and cleared, my mind too, and then just energetically letting go of a lot of kind of layers and stuff I've been hanging on to. And I'm taking care of my health a little bit more, and we're planning a move as a family, and I can totally feel love kind of around the corner, or not around the corner, but kind of a little ways into the year. And so these are the things I'm picking up on.
Yeah, no, you're doing a lot of really good things. I will tell you that you have in the past you've been a separator of you're a compartmentalizer or a separator. That's the way I will say it. And it's happening now that they're coming together. So don't be surprised if you're going to have like funky things happen in your body. Next, it's just that the body is can come together. So when think about, combining your emotional, physical, intellectual energies, spiritual energies together. There's got to be a little bit of a marinade before it becomes one. So right now, really well. So don't feel bad about your health just being a little wonky, just a little bit longer. Okay.
Okay,
First thing I wanted to tell you, the doing a lot of stuff, a lot of really good things. There is a hint of sadness that just needs to come out. It's almost as if that you've been dealing with some emotional things in the immediate past or recent past that you with systematically and exactly that has to be in order for you to move through. And now it's time to just feel it and go, wow. I just did a lot of stuff, and it was hard. And I took some of these things that I had to do and just let it head, and then it will help you blend into place. Okay? So it's really not a whole lot that has to happen. It just feels like because it's pretty close to the surface, the stuff that you've been going through. Again, we were talking about celebration. Celebrate it by going, wow, I just threw some crazy. And it feels like it was pretty energetic, a lot of moving. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we have to do this, and then we have to do this, and now we're on to this, and that's how you've been for a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I
now
actually spent some time. Sorry, I spent some time. It's a retreat center, but it's also an ashram. Early, I just got home, and it wasn't too intense. Like it wasn't too bad, but I was releasing all the time while I was working. And it was pretty balanced, but I'm detoxing like crazy, and that's what I'm confused about more than I shouldn't be. I mean, it seems really clear cut. I came home, the blessings kind of flood in, and there is a little bit of sadness I'm letting go of. I'm with my family, and it's just from like struggles in the past or some stress or just some emotional, like what could have been, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
So
that's like trying their coulda, woulda, shoulda. I mean, that's like my favorite thing to do in the whole world, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, could have been. Yeah. And then you get it out, and then you move on because you're like, oh my gosh, this is it, I'm in a great place. So you're in a really good place. Usually happens to people when they're in an ashram is that the setting is perfect. So you actually, it's conducive for you to really work on your stuff. And then you come out into the world where other things you, and then you're like, woo, that's a little bit, this stuff's a little bit brusque, and you know what I mean? It's just a little bit rough. And because of all the stuff that you've been going through, it's just a little bit more. You know what I mean? When I say a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing. You're just coming into alignment, and that takes a little bit of physical time because, again, the physical body is the last to go. So go ahead and be sad. Allow that to happen. You've already done all your other work. You know what your foundation is, and now and then know that you're going to be a little bit sick, like bronchial and wheezy or whatever that can be, because it's just your body adjusting to your new change, and then you're going to move on. You're absolutely fine. You're in a great place.
Okay,
really
great.
Okay.
I'm glad. And am I right when I say I feel love coming in?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's going to be a little more than it's going to be a little bit longer than you think, but that's okay. I mean, when you say love is coming in, it's really funny because you're like yoo-hoo, and you're looking at the calendar, and really it's not a calendar is just a little bit of it's a little bit of get sad, get rested, and then get going. And then once you get going, then it's going to happen. And it's going to be a little bit of a slow burner, but it's going to be there. It's going to be before the end of autumn, but it's not going to be during the summer. So take your time. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for calling. All right.
Yeah.
So, bye. Have a really good time with this adventure. If I have 2 other callers, but if you'd like to call in, I believe I still have some time. Just dial in 657-383-0608. My next caller is Laura from New Jersey, and she'd like to see what's going on with her career. Hello, Ms. Laura.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call.
Oh, thank you for calling in. Super honored. Super honored.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if you're picking up any changes that are coming for me with my career.
Okay, hang on one second. You know what? Okay, so here's what I'm feeling right now, and tell me, and tell me if I'm, if I've got some gaps that need to be filled in with some, with what's going on with you. But I'm feeling like things are okay and they're good. It's kind of like status quo, but you're feeling a little bit ready to move on, kind of chomping at the bit, a little bit repressed, like you really want to get going, and you've done the step work, but now you're like, hey, see me, I'm ready for the next thing. Does that kind of make sense to what's going on with you right now?
Yeah, dead on, right.
Great. So here's what I feel is happening is you're not being seen in the way that you want to be seen. You've done all the step work. You're being noticed, but you're not being noticed in the way that you want to be noticed. So the simplest way, and I know this sounds crazy, but the simplest way to get noticed, believe it or not, in your career is to switch it up and find the way to get noticed in your social life so that you can actually get the experience, and then you take that experience and that feeling and you take and you shine it in on your work and go, hey, people of my company, this is what I'm looking for. And then they're going to go, oh, I'm so sorry. And then it'll move forward. You've been doing a lot of great work, and you are so chomping at the bit. Don't quit. Don't, I won't say don't. Don't is, it makes me feel like my mom shaking her finger and flaring her nostrils. That's so not what I'm talking about. My suggestion is hang in there and practice. Hey, this is the way I want to be noticed. Thank you for noticing me, but now noticing me this way. Right, because this is what I'm all about, and then what will happen is it'll get going. There, you have one person who's kind of like a naysayer, kind of like a downer, that happens to be like a decision maker, not kind of in your periphery, but does make a decision on your stuff. Do not focus on that person. Focus on yourself. If that person, if their energy happens to get big, and you start feeling the you know what I mean, of the no, then it's time to go ahead and move on. I don't see it happening, but there is a possibility. Okay?
Well, my manager, for some reason, we have stakeholders that we develop the projects for, and I've been getting all kinds of accolades from the people that I do the projects for.
Uh-huh.
And they let my manager know it, but for some reason my manager is suppressing me.
Yeah, and so now, here's the thing. This is not anything personal, but what's happening is that your manager is the type of person that believes in, God, what is that called? It's not like hierarchy, but it's like, hey, if you're going to move up, we should all move up together. Do you understand what I'm saying? So because you're getting all the accolades, and is this a male or female? Because it feels male.
Well, no, the manager is a female.
Right. Okay.
But she's promoting a male who's in the same position I'm in, but she's promoting him and suppressing me.
Yeah. So here's the deal. The reason I was asking if this person is male or female is because there's a male energy that's going on. Stick with the manager. It's not about the person that's being promoted. You know, they have nothing to do with what's going on. But your manager is in a place where she wants to ride the wave, and she doesn't feel like she's going to be able to ride your wave, that you are going to be the one surpassing, and that's what she doesn't want. So it's not you personally. It's not like she has anything against you. It has to do with her idea of, you know, if I were to let you go, meaning if I were your boss and I were to let you shine, that I'm actually going to get some of the abundance as well. She's not in that mindset. She's in the lack mindset. And there's nothing you can do about that except go into your social world, get the recognition that you want that way. And when I say that, it's just that feeling of celebrity, that feeling of greatness, that feeling of, you know what I mean, that you're a star, superstar. And then you take that superstar shininess into your workforce, and what will happen is it gives your manager the opportunity to go, there's nothing painful or scary about you being big and you doing your own thing, because my path is actually something different. Make sense?
Well, yeah, but see, that's the thing that I don't understand. She's not afraid to let the guy shine.
Sure.
Almost like the guy can shine, and she has no problem with that. But let the woman shine, there's no way she wants that to happen. And it's ridiculous because she's got a completely different job than what I do.
Sure, but here's where I want you to focus, because here's what's happening. You're focusing on her and getting pissed off at her. She's focusing on a guy, and she's not focusing on her, and both of you are running the same thing, right? It just looks different. So I'll make this really quick, but what I want you to realize is this, is that once you focus on you and you allow people to see your superstar shininess, then what will happen is that she will have the opportunity to see that it's okay for the feminine energy to get recognized and to move on. She's of the mindset, right, of the coattails, and then that's why it's a male energetic thing that's going. You just focus on your female thing, and she will have the opportunity to do that. So thank you so much. Please feel free to give me a call back and let me know how that all works out. But it really is about you focusing on yourself. And I'd love to carry this message forward, which is when we have the opportunity to celebrate ourselves in any way that we want, it is the universe's it's the universe's duty to allow that to be shared. So what that means is we always talk about ripple effect. This is not a ripple effect. When you celebrate yourself, what happens, it's almost like it's a light force, and the shininess within you shines a light on other people, and they have the opportunity to either turn up the volume of the light or bring it down. And it has nothing to do with you. All you're responsible for is your shininess. So allow that shininess to be, ever you go. Allow yourself to be celebrated every time that you want the celebration to happen. Like I said, I'm a party girl. I love celebrations, but, I'm also a human being, and humans need rest. So let's see. I do believe I have one last caller. Her name is Sue from the UK. I love the UK. And she also happens to be just about my age, which makes me feel like she's my sister. So, Sue, how can I help you?
Hi. I have a really direct question. Someone that was, I thought was a friend, I guess an acquaintance, I had sort of walked away from a few years ago. I basically disconnected from them because I was quite hurt by them. And I literally walked away. Well, they tried to contact me a couple months ago out of the blue. Mm-hmm. What they did was, surprisingly, they added me. They requested to be added to my Facebook page after I unfriended them a couple years ago. Uh-huh. And there was no contact. And I watched. Well, I thought maybe they were going to apologize or something, and then it sort of sat there for about a day or two, probably went through my information, and then suddenly they blocked me, and then they've unblocked me within a couple of weeks. I guess that so that they could still see my site and see what was going on. Because and I have a suspicion that they've been kind of creeping around my information ever since, or even before. But that was something just inspired them to try to get back in, I think. I'm just wondering why. What motivated them to do that?
Here's the sensation that I have, that this person is a push me, pull you type of person, right? So they're always, you can never stay the emotionally safe with them, because they'll agree with you, and then as soon as you feel like they're in alignment with you, then they shift it up. And so it's really hard to feel safe, because you never know if they are truly with you, or if they're going to all of a sudden turn and start, and it's not that they're ever against you, but then all of a sudden they don't feel like, you know, they're an ally, or that they're a friend, or someone that you can count on. So what you want to do is you want to, you first of all take care of you, and what that means is if you don't want to have that person in your life, you just go ahead and defriend her every time. And actually, it'll be really funny, because what will happen is that it will allow her to see what. I'm sorry, and I'm assuming it's a female, because that's what it feels like. Am I correct in that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So here's what happens. Just go ahead and keep going, unfriend, 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 because what you want to do is you want to stay very consistent in your energy. It's not, the thing that I believe in is that energy is meant to be shared, but it's only meant to be shared with the people that you want to share with. And if not, then what you do is you just shine your light elsewhere. So defriend, defriend, defriend. And what will happen is that that person will have an opportunity to look at her stuff, because right now she's at a place where she's lonely, and so she's trying to find ways to sneak in on someone else's energy so that she could be in your stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, she'd only be interested in me when there's nobody else around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's not anything personal. What's happening is because she is this person that loves, let's call it drama, for lack of better words, is that she loves drama and she loves all this stuff, is that she's like, hey, I don't know what it's like to have my life to be okay, and so I'm going to create drama and see what happens. And, sadly for her, she wants to go ahead and, how can I say it? She wants to change, but because she's such good friends with drama, she's having a really hard time with what's going on. And so for you, you don't need to participate in that drama. All you need to do is stay really clear with your boundaries. You will know when she is ready to friend you, and it's going to be solid. It's not going to be anytime soon. She's got a little bit of work to do, and you're going through so many changes right now that you don't really have time for that. So I hope that answer is sufficient. I love phone calls from the UK, so exceptionally grateful that you called. And I want you to know, all of you, that if you did not have a chance to talk with me, you are more than welcome to check in with me one-on-one. I do one-on-one seminars. I do one-on-one. Gosh, I already lost the word. Basically, I work with you privately if you'd like. I can do that in person. I can do that by video chatting. It's one of my favorite things to do. So actually, one of my favorite things to do is I stick with you like a coach. So we go and we have a really big session, like for an hour, and then we follow up with some mini sessions, just like little reminders, little cleanups. So to keep it in with the spring cleaning theme, what we do is that we take a look at the stuff that you want to clean up, and then you pick one thing, because my belief is if you clean up one thing, the other things tend to clean themselves, and then you come in for brush-ups and go, how's it going? Have you been doing this? Have you been doing that? And it's not really about readings. It's really about you staying connected with your authenticity and staying in alignment. The other thing that's so much fun to do is, because it's interactive, is to come to my Thursday classes. They are in Berkeley, California. They're on Thursday evenings. We pick a topic, just like, and actually the radio show actually follows the topic of the classes, just so that I have something relevant and fresh, and I can take it to the next level through the radio show. Is we are going through decluttering, and cleaning everything up so that we can make space for so many great things. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to be talking about our agreements. We're going to be talking about breaking agreements, which is so crazy. But think about the agreements that we made way back when we were 10 years old. I am never going to do that. I am never going to marry that kind of person. I am never going to do so-and-so hurt me. Why would I want to talk to them? Think about those agreements that are sitting way back in your memory that we haven't addressed. So those agreements need to be dusted off, updated, and maybe even broken or validated and said done, and move on to a new contract. So these are the things that'll be coming up on April, and these will be agreements with people in our past, people who have passed, with coworkers. So it is relationship related, but it is about staying in alignment with who you are. I hope that you found this information of value. Woo! Wait a minute, I forgot. I did not finish up be in alignment with your space. So let me finish up with that. So what I said was that when we are going to talk about we want to make a change and we want our environment to be in alignment with us, is first we check ourselves out and we make a commitment and we write it down. And if we have someone to keep us accountable, we have that accountability person with us. Then we go in as a barometer into the space that we want to make this change in. Again, so if it's relationships, it can actually be in the bedroom or it can be in the kitchen or it could be wherever it is that you feel like, relationships happen. Okay? Once that happens, as a barometer, feel out your space. When you're by yourself, again, write it down because that helps you become accountable to yourself. If not, it's a great way to have a conversation with the person you're with. Then what happens is you'll notice the inconsistencies. And now you are treating your environment as if they are a friend and you want to help your environment. So it could be simply changing the energy up. And you can change the energy up by adding things to the room, by deleting things to the room, by playing really loud music in the room because that shakes up energy. Of course, everyone loves the sage, but I love to do something that happens with the sage. So because I believe in shaking up the energy before doing the incense, and then making that agreement within that space, and then celebrating, which means buy something new for the space or do something really cool in that space. So if you want creativity in your office, celebrate, do some coloring, do a coloring book, or do something that's a lot of fun that you haven't had a chance to do for a while. And that is how we begin having alignment within the space. And now that you and your environment have agreement, you are now free. I mean, what a great F word, right? There are so many F words I love. This is one of my favorites, and which is, natural, is that you are free to be that person and be that change that you have been that you've been thinking about and now ready to do action with. So, it is already that time of day, my friends. It is the end of the show. Thank you so much for allowing me to finish up the spring cleaning portion of the Modern Day Mystic show. It was wonderful talking with everyone, and it's exciting to see who is out there and ready to make those changes. And I want you to know that I'm with you every step of the way. This is going to be an amazing week. We have Linda Grindell coming up tomorrow, Cher on Wednesday, who is a phenomenal healer, and Miranda, who I love listening to before I have my Friday show, which is Modern Day Mystic, talking about relationships. Again, if you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook at Cynthia Varkevisser, Modern Day Mystic. You can also check out my website, moderndaymystic.com, actually modernday-mystic.com, or you can give me a call, 415-740-7955, or you can visit me at
Thank you for
Angelheart.
listening to another empowering show. Tune in every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Monday and Friday to hear our live shows. Learn more about our live shows at www.angelheartforyouRadio.com and keep tuning in to the Angel Heart for You radio channel.